Alright, hello people. Just got done watching 310 to Yuma with Christian Bale, the good guy, Russell Crowe, the bad guy, and Ben Foster, Russell Crowe's right-hand man and his gang of outlaws. Right? Those are the big three names in the movie. The short version, it was a good movie, but I hated the ending. Uh, Apparently a lot of other people didn't have a problem with it. I thought it wasn't justified for one, and for two, I just didn't like it. I did not enjoy the ending. It was counter to what I wanted to see at the end of the movie. So that's the short version. The long version, spoilers. Christian Bale's trying to take Russell Crowe to the train. That's the 310 to Yuma. He's been paid. He needs this money to keep his house and keep his family fed and all this stuff. So he's doing it out of desperation. He takes Russell Crowe most of the way with Russell Crowe's posse gang of outlaws, whatever, trying to hunt him down to save Russell Crowe. In fact, they do everything in their power throughout this entire movie. From the minute he's captured, which was his fault. Make no mistake, Russell Crowe, through his own arrogance, got himself caught, and then his band of merry men or whatever, not so merry, they're bad guys. Make no mistake, they are bad guys. They spend like from maybe 20 minutes into the movie to the very end, non-stop, relentlessly tracking him down, trying to save him. Right? Not out of some like greed of their own, or because he has some kind of power over them or whatever. It's through loyalty. For the most part, they want to save him. There's only one guy that questions it throughout the entire movie, and Ben Foster puts it into that immediately. He's like, "We are saving him. we're gonna find him, and we're gonna get him away from the marshals." They're the heroes of this movie. I hate to say it. Christian Bale's character was one-dimensional. He was boring as hell. He was honorable to a fault. There was nothing interesting about him at all. His only character arc or whatever you want to call it is that he doesn't get the respect of the people around him, and that's apparently important to him, or whatever, which comes back around at the very end of the movie. But throughout the whole movie, his character is bland as hell. It's all Russell Crowe. He's the one that's like this roguish type, where he's kind of like a swashbuckler with, like attitude, and he's got all the best lines, and he's got the charisma in this movie. And because he's like the anti-hero of the movie, the one you're unofficially rooting for, you're also rooting for Ben Foster because you want him to save Russell Crowe. You don't want to see Russell Crowe get put on the train, right? Or at least I didn't. So this all ties into the ending, which I hated. I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead to the ending because I want to talk about it more than anything else. The very end of the movie, Christian Bale and Russell Crowe have this moment where Russell Crowe has the advantage. He's had the advantage the whole movie. He could have killed Christian Bale like 5 times by now. And again, he has the advantage. He's like sitting on top of him he's like got handcuff chains and he's choking him. And it looks like he's going to kill him. And Christian Bale has this like, moment where he explains his character. He finally explains his character why he's doing this. Against all odds, he has to take, Russell Crowe to the train. He's the only one left. It's just him and Russell Crowe against the entire town at this point. And he has to explain why he's doing this. And he wasn't a war hero like he said he was earlier in the movie. He got shot by one of his own men in the war, and he never really did anything. And because of that, apparently he doesn't get any respect, and it's important to him. And Russell Crowe, at this point, for whatever reason, I don't understand it, decides that he's going to help Christian Bale put him on the train. He's going to put himself on the train to the prison where they're going to hang him. He says a couple of times that he can break out of prison, so it's not that big a deal. But even then, it doesn't make any sense that he's helping him. Christian Bale's character has shown nothing but disdain for him the entire movie long. He hates him. Hates everything about him. Hates everything he stands for. It doesn't make any sense at all if you sit and think about it. I mean, anyways, so Russell Crowe decides to help Christian Bale put him on the train, right? So they're working together at this point. The entire town has been paid off, and they've all pulled their guns, and they're all shooting at Christian Bale. And by extension, shooting at Russell Crowe, because he's right next to him the whole way. So not only is he putting himself on a train to go to prison, but he's putting himself in danger. He's getting shot at from every different direction by like 40 different guns, all because he wants to help Christian Bale look good. They finally make it to the train. At this point, Ben Foster and the whole gang of outlaws, they're all in like on the far end of the town, right next to the train tracks. Russell Crowe and Christian Bale are in this little building where I guess they take the tickets for the train. I don't know, whatever. They're hiding in the building. All the outlaws are on the far side of the town, right next to that, and Christian Bale's oldest son, he came along for the journey because he wanted to protect his father, or whatever. I don't know, whatever. He lets the cows out, and the cows are all, in between them. They're all the cows are all stampeding in between this little train shack thing and the rest of the outlaws. So they don't really have a clear shot. Christian Bale takes his time, takes the distraction to put Russell Crowe on the train. They charge over the train, and he doesn't even put him on the train. Russell Crowe puts himself on the train. He jumps up on the train and puts himself in the jail cell. That's how much he wants to help him. And they're both smiling, that they succeeded in making Christian Bale look good. I don't know why. And right at this moment, Ben Foster finally gets past the cows, and he shoots Christian Bale in the back, 5 times. He's dead. He's very, very dead. He's not technically dead at that very moment, but he's dead. He's not going to survive. So Christian Bale goes down, and because of that one scene where they had a bromance or whatever the hell, Russell Crowe, in a fit of rage, takes his gun that Ben Foster had brought him. Someone else had taken it earlier in the movie. And over the course of riding across the state one way and then riding all the way back, making sure all of the men stay in line, killing everyone that gets in the way, saving him from the townspeople whenever they start shooting at him, by accident when they're trying to hit Christian Bale. He does everything in his power to appease this guy, right? And just because he dares to kill his prison guard, basically his, the guy that's trying to bring him to prison, he kills him for it. That couldn't have pissed me off even more. Anymore, honestly. He did everything in his power. He was loyal to a fault. And just because he killed the guy that was literally wouldn't refuse to stop taking him to the train, he kills him. He takes the gun that Ben Foster gives him, his gun, he brings him his gun, and then immediately afterwards he's got this look in his eye. Ben Foster senses something, and he turns around and looks at him, and he sees that something's very wrong. And they both draw, and Russell Crowe wins. In a half a second span of time, he draws his gun. He's like, do, takes out his entire gang of outlaws, kills them all. And these weren't half-ass slackers. I mean, he trained them well and they knew what they were doing, and for the most part, they were very loyal. Especially Ben Foster. Like I said, he's loyal to a fault. He just wipes them out for daring to rescue him. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. You cannot explain it away. And more than that, like I said, at that point in the movie, Ben Foster was the hero of the movie. He was the one going out of his way to save Russell Crowe when he didn't have to. He already had the money. He had the whole gang of outlaws. He could have just taken over. He could have just left Russell Crowe to his fate. I mean, there was nothing stopping him from doing that. Take over the gang, take the money, go to Mexico, and do whatever the hell you want. No, he spends the span of, 3 or 4 days just hunting him down, trying to catch up to him so he can save him, and then he just betrays him at the last moment. On a whim. Because apparently he's I don't know. He likes Christian Bale that much at that point that he'll kill his own men. And at that point, he couldn't save him anyways. Christian Bale was already dead. He'd been shot 5 times. He was dead. It's not like he was doing him any favors. It was already over. And then after that, after he kills all of his own men, he puts himself on the train again. At this point, his kid is he already respects him. He already thinks he's a hero because, against all odds, he got Russell Crowe to the train, right? He died in the end, but he got him to the train. So he's already a hero. There's no point in putting himself on the train at this point. I mean, he can't make Christian Bale happy. He's dead, and his son's already happy, and he's gonna go tell the whole town what he did. So there's no point. There's no point in getting on the fucking train at this point, but he does it anyways. The whole ending of this movie made no sense at all. I mean, I've looked up people's explanation for it, and it's all bullshit. They're all grasping at straws. There is no legitimate reason for his decisions at the end of the movie. I mean, it's just not. It just doesn't make any sense. So, the rest of the movie was fine. It was very formulaic for a Western movie, but it wasn't bad. Russell Crowe was really charismatic, and he kind of pulled off the movie, for the most part. But, the ending just didn't work for me at all. Like I said, there's a lot of people that seem to think that it makes sense. It doesn't. Or that it was a good ending. It wasn't. Or that it was some kind of twist. It was just stupid. It wasn't a twist. Twists they're meant to be a surprise, right? And this was surprising, but not in a good way. So, I don't know. Whatever. I hated this movie. At the end of the day, I hated it for the ending. So, Most disappointing Western I've seen in as long as I can remember. All because of the ending. If the ending was completely reversed, like even if Christian Bale went down, which like I said at that point I didn't care about his character anyways. Let's say the kid, the son, killed Russell Crowe, right? That'd have been a fine ending, and or let's say Russell Crowe just decided that even though Christian Bale died, seeing as he's just some random asshole that he's known for 2 days, he's not going to go crazy and kill all his men, and he just lets the kid go, right? That would have been fine too. I would understand that too. Let's say that against, let's say that Ben Foster, right? He saves him, and Russell Crowe's, he still thinks that he has to do what he said. He has to go through with what he said to Christian Bale, put himself on the train. Okay, fine. You don't need to kill all your men to do that. Just put yourself on the train. They're not going to understand it, but they're not going to try and kill you or anything. You don't need to murder them all. So just get on the fucking train and let them do their thing, and tell them you'll see them later, because he thinks he's going to escape anyways, right? He did not need to wipe them all out. Bottom line, he did not need to kill them all. So, I don't know. Yeah, I hated it. Anyways, there's 310 to Yuma. I wanted to like it because I like the actors. All three of the leads, I like them all. Even though people don't like Christian Bale because he's too bland. Probably the only way to describe him, bland. He's very bland. Really matter of fact, really dry, he's never really emotional, and when he tries to be, it usually comes off pretty bad. But I still like his character. I really can't understand why. I think it's the movies he's in for the most part, not him. It's the Tom Cruise thing. What's the word for it? Syndrome, Tom Cruise syndrome, where it's not Tom Cruise, it's the movies he's in. So maybe that's it. I don't know. Because he was in Psycho, which I reviewed a long time ago. I love that movie. The Batman movies, the new Batman movies weren't bad. That movie where they were brothers and they were both cops or whatever. And that was a really good movie. The Boxer was a really good movie. He's just in really good movies. I don't think it's him. Because, the more I think about it, I don't even like Christian Bale much. But he doesn't ruin the movies he's in, and they tend to be good for the most part. So, I don't know. Except for this one, because the ending was stupid. Stupid. Really stupid. Really disappointing and really stupid. So, yeah. Take that for what you will. I'll see you guys next time.